This is not going to end well. In fact, it's going to end catastrophically for the United States. I know I have quite a few diehard Trump supporters in my audience, and they're super excited about the 5, 6, 8, 9D chess that Trump is allegedly playing. But China's been around for a couple thousand years. We've barely been around for a couple hundred, and in only a matter of maybe 5 to 10, Trump's going to be a long gone distant memory. Places like Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, Vietnam, they're still all going to have to deal with China long after Trump's gone. So this doesn't work out the way many think it does. And if we're going to have any chance of recovering from this, people are going to have to start to wake up and not be so reactionary. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share something with you guys that's going to blow your mind. But first, real quick, two, not one, two brand new videos up over the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. One is the joint command briefing for the two top levels, unit commanders, brigade commanders. We have our first, it's about an 18-minute video, and then we also have the brigade commanders only video. They are both up, only a couple hours old and ready to go. If you'd like to join us, Florida Maquis Patreon channel, it's only $2 a month at the base level. We have a $5 a month level, and then, of course, the 10 and 15 like we spoke of. Hundreds of videos going back all the way to 2018, the vast majority of which, I believe, never before seen on YouTube. And the best part, next 90 days, you've got 90 days fully refundable. No questions asked. Go over there, watch the videos, kick the tires. It's not for you. The money you spent comes right back at you, no questions asked. Now, let's get right to it. How many of you saw earlier the Patriot nurse talking about the title of her videos, Did They Know This Was Coming? She's talking about the housing crisis in her area around Knoxville, Tennessee, and how people have tried to save money for a down payment, tried to save money, and then all of a sudden the down payment requirements just double and triple. And the costs just are astronomical. And it's impossible for the average person to buy a house in her area of Knoxville, Tennessee. And the economic anxiety that is plaguing virtually everyone that she's talked to. And she did a 15.5-minute video earlier today on this. Now, I don't think a lot of people would say that the Patriot nurse is some liberal Democrat. Anybody who knows anything about the Patriot nurse knows that she's very far from it. But lo and behold, on the 5, today, Jessica Tarlov, the token liberal Democrat that they have on their discussion panel, literally said, in a nutshell, in about 1 minute, the exact same thing that the Patriot nurse said in a 15-minute video. The economic anxiety index for the United States is off the charts, like literally can't fit on the page. The CEO of Amazon came out and said these tariffs will be passed on to the consumers, and Trump just wants everybody to be cool about it and trust the plan and all this nonsense. And the Patriot nurse wasn't talking about, the last 3 months or 5 months or 6 months. She's been talking about this for years and years. In fact, I think it was about a year and a half ago, she put out a video that the title was, People Are Just Broke. And it's not getting any better. Now, those of you that took issue with the videos that I've done the last couple of days where I talked about the guy who took his girlfriend, better half, to the restaurant and said, hey, I'm going to buy you a car. And then the next day says, oh, no, I'm not going to buy you a car. And then says, it's your fault that I changed my mind. Or, maybe we're now here a third day and say, well, instead of buying you a car, what I'm going to do is my ex-girlfriend has a car for sale, and I'm going to talk to her and see if maybe I can buy that from her, and then I'll take that car, and then you can have my car. Some other ridiculous story like this. If every day it's some brand new ridiculous story, and the guy's just telling you, trust the plan, trust the plan, trust the plan, because his intentions are good, because his intentions are good. Ladies, you going to be around a guy like that? I mean, like, what, you broke up with him because he said he was going to, because that's what he'll do. He'll go tell all your friends, I was going to buy her a new car and then she broke up with me. That's how he's going to, contextualize it to all of your friends. I was just trying to be this really great guy and then she just threw me away and it was horrible. You see, you just can't live like that. You'd almost rather not have had any conversation about the car ever. You just want to look at the facts, just like in a relationship. And we are, as the people of America, in a relationship with our government, whether we like it or not. And if we want to go back to when this new government started, Dow Jones, even with the single largest single day jump in history yesterday, we're still down 12% just in the first 100 days of Trump's being in charge. And Bitcoin is down, what, 25%? Something like that? Yeah, Bitcoin, okay, 15% year to date. Year to date down 15%. So nothing has gotten better. But now car prices are going back up. And those of you that are talking about eggs, do you know why eggs went down for a minute, price-wise? Because we started importing eggs from overseas, places like Turkey. You know, the caliphate, Turkey. We're buying eggs from Turkey to glut the American market with eggs to drive the price down. So we can't even feed ourselves, but be warned. Be warned. There's sometimes cheap eggs come with a price. Thankfully, God bless him. Thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to live in the state of Florida. There's virtually no thing that you could put on your grocery list to buy that isn't made and produced right here in the state of Florida. Go through your grocery list of all the things that you would buy. At least real foods, not hyper-processed garbage. Real foods, real fruits and vegetables, all made right here in Florida, right down the road. Right down the road. Steak, beef, peppers, fish, poultry, you name it. If you want to, where is it? Let's see, hold on. Yep, you can go right through the grocery store and you can look for this little brown tag. Florida local, fresh from Florida. And there's even some that say that they're made without certain very, very bad ingredients. So if you wanted to, virtually everything on your grocery list, if you live in Florida, you can go home knowing that everything in your pantry was made right here in the state and wasn't imported from Turkey. Now sometimes if you're buying eggs in Florida, you've got to be a little bit careful as to the kind of eggs, especially the discount ones at the roadside stands. You know, eggs are not always eggs, if you get my drift. So just saying. And I'll give you the link to this. This is a Florida premium beef. And it's only made about an hour produced, however you want to talk about it. A couple hours away from where I'm talking to you from right now. And this is the guy that does it. And these cattle are raised just like they were raised 200 or 300 years ago. No hormones, no antibiotics, no vaccines, nothing. Just cattle and grass and water and time. 100% grass-fed and finished. And he'll put it in a box and ship it right to your door. Florida premium beef. Just what it sounds. Easiest thing to find on the internet. Florida premium beef. Here's actually his website right here. Delivered to your door. Ordered online. And once again, I don't got to worry about it. I can go look at the cows. Let her go drive over there and look at the cows. So, anyway, but one final thing before I let everyone go. Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, super duper patriot, America lover, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Very interesting. In the very, very short time that she's been in Congress, her net worth has gone from $75,000 to $22 million. How did this happen? Well, amongst other things, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene scooped up shares of Amazon and Dell when Donald Trump crashed the stock market on purpose down 40%. And then it recovered. She's basically the new Nancy Pelosi, which I think is ironic because if you go back and watch Nancy Pelosi sing the praises of tariffs back in the 90s, that's when she started getting rich too. Isn't that interesting how Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama and Bernie Sanders, and even to some extent George W. Bush, all impose some kind of tariffs, but they're all so terrible. Oh my God, skull and bones and America haters and part of the cabal. They all sang the praise of tariffs as well. And now that Trump is doing it, all of a sudden that's the answer. But she's worth a staggering amount of money. Isn't that weird? Even Business Insider started to look into this. About all the stock trading, insider stock trading that Marjorie Taylor Greene has been doing. So, looks like old boss same as the new boss, huh? But I'm going to say it again. These countries that Donald Trump wants to say, oh, they're not for America and they're all this, that, and the other. Well, they're another country, so they're going to work in their own best interest. It is the right of any country in the world to work in its own best interest, wouldn't you say? They're going to have to deal with China long after Trump is gone. Man's 80 years old. They're going to have to deal with and have a friendly relationship with China long after Trump is gone. So, just saying. Sometimes things are not as they appear. When you hear somebody like the Patriot nurse talking about the financial Armageddon that has hit people in the last 4 or 5 years in this country, and how it's not getting better, how it's getting worse, and then you hear Jessica Tarlov from The Five come out and say pretty much the same thing, nothing's getting fixed. In fact, it's getting worse. Which is why we put up 2 brand new videos over Patreon. The videos that we talked about today are about how to handle it when, not if. When everything finally collapses, what is your best strategy going to be? And there's one strategy that always gets overlooked, and it works every time. If you want to make it through the Armageddon and get to the other side to even be able to have the privilege of living in a post-apocalyptic society, there's a strategy you're going to have to use, and we talk about it in these 2 videos. So once again, God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Pray for the Patriot nurse, of course. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time.